Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Eel Podcast with your hosts Scott and Mike, and Mike's dog,
Luna. Yeah,
Luna, who wants to be a part of it.
she's gonna be the
Funny
center
enough,
of the attention.
well, what's funny is normally she just lays down, but this time she's like, not today. Not
Now
today.
she's full of energy
Today's
right
the
now.
day. So today we're going to be talking about the trailer for Wonderman. We're going to then talk about the teaser trailer for season 4 of Invincible, and then we're going to be talking about the latest episode of Gen V and the season finale of Peacemaker and where that might lead to for other projects, and then ending with a character spotlight from Mike. So Wonderman. So I've watched both trailers. The first one was the teaser trailer, and then obviously the big trailer was released today or yesterday.
Today. Yep.
Okay. I am very weirdly enough, I feel like this is gonna be very much like I don't know. I think my issue is it can't. So originally I was gonna say this is gonna be like WandaVision because it's gonna be unlike anything we've ever seen. And I think I'm still correct on it.
I mean, it's definitely something different because, he's not like any other superhero in that case. So they're definitely going
Well,
to tackle him in a different light.
well, also too, this is a big difference too, which is huge. Is Wonder Man is a fictional hero in the MCU,
Yes.
which I find to be very interesting. Fun fact for you: the '60s version of him, the one that we see in the movies for the trailer, is basically it's the closest thing to Wonder Man, like his comic book accurate costume, but like also from the '60s. So like they made it more '60s ish, but still look like the stereotypical Wonder Man.
Oh, well, that's cool.
So I thought that was kind of cool. I also like that they are pretty much just stating the hell with casting, like making it like the big thing of like we don't care what he used to look like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
but like blatantly, but like blatantly,
Uh,
like not even like they're like in the show with like, yeah, Wonder Man can be anybody, and it's like, yeah,
as long
he
as he
can.
fits the role, like, why not?
No, absolutely. Um, so I am just curious on how he potentially might get his powers, because that's going to be the big plot point. Um, and I'm very curious on that front. But he's still going to be the the hero who is famous.
hmm Yeah,
He's I'm
I'm
trying to think of
interested in what they're going to do with this because it just doesn't, they didn't show anything involving his powers in this, so it was very much
well
just
because he's not getting him right away, because
yeah.
he's technically not Wonder Man yet, which I find to be interesting. But what I will say is, think of him like Booster Gold,
hmm
okay? In the sense of like, I'm not saying he isn't a good hero because Booster Gold is, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, you kind of think of your image first.
he is doing the heroics because he wants the fame and glory, not because he actually wants to be a
Yep.
hero.
Yep, and I also
Um,
like that we're going with the idea of him always wanting to be Wonder Man and then wanting
mhm.
to become it, which I think is kind of cool. I feel like, weirdly enough, that this is how Miss Marvel was supposed to be, but my issue with Miss Marvel from the MCU version, not the comic book version, was in the MCU version, Captain Marvel wasn't around that long.
Mhm. Yeah, very
Like,
true.
obviously she was around in the '90s, but like she wasn't. Like, nobody knew who she was until she helped defeat Thanos round 2.
Yeah, she was only there for however long the initial invasion was that they or the Kree.
Yeah,
That initial
correct.
fight with the Kree. Otherwise, then she was gone, and even then, she wasn't like no one saw her except for the few in the government. So
Correct. And nobody knew that she existed because all that was left was a pager.
yeah,
But no, that was the that was the like they did it comic book accurate in that sense, but like we're seeing it in this sense of like him being inspired by the Wonder Man and like wanting to be Wonder Man, which I do
Yeah,
like. I am not convinced I know what Ben's part is. Can we agree on that?
he's
Like
taken him under
I
his
thought he was
wing
supposed to
as.
be. Well, that's what I thought at first, but then I was like, it sounded like he was also there for the part.
I mean,
For a
he
second, but then
definitely is, but at the same time, if you know, he very much like the little bit that we're seeing is like, I want the part, but if I can pass on my wisdom to somebody else, then you know, then I have the glory as well, kind of thing. Do you
I
understand
still,
what I mean?
I s- no, I do. I also think like the other big piece too was you look familiar. It's like, oh yeah, he
Oh,
played
I
Wonder Man.
loved that. Wasn't he a terrorist?
Because
And then they showed the picture.
they showed the video basically of him, and I'm like, that is hilarious that they're realizing like he's just an actor. Um, and I don't know why I find that funny, but it is. But no, I mean, I was looking forward to it to begin with. I'm a little disappointed that we have to wait until the new year. It's going to be January 27th, I believe.
Yep, end of the month. So
Yeah, it was funny because you had sent me the first one and you were like, and don't get me wrong, great. But then I was like, oh, I guess we're waiting an extra month. And you were like, I didn't even see that.
no, I didn't because it didn't show it in the trailer. I just saw Wonderman teaser, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna watch it. I didn't read the part where it says releasing in January. So then
Yeah.
when you said that, I was like, wait, what? And
Yeah, and then they gave us the date in the real trailer. Um,
I'll have to be
of
honest. When they do that, it just annoys me because it's like, what is the point?
what
Re-
the changing it?
releasing the trailers a day apart. It's like there's
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be some reason for it. I just don't know it. It doesn't. I think there is a marketing reason for it, and like a psychology, like because they use psychology in the sense of like trying to get people to watch it. But I also don't remember it ever saying like, "Oh, be prepared for the latest
the
trailer." Like no,
yeah,
like it didn't say like,
not
"Oh, trailer coming out soon." So it's not, so I don't fully get it. But I wonder if it's just the fact of like they wanted to boost a bunch of stuff up before the holidays kind of kick in, so like they're prepared for like, hey, by the way, like this show is
well.
going to be coming
I don't know if
after the holidays.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but this weekend is Comic Con, so that's you
I'm
know
just kind of well, all right, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
I know like this the teaser trailer released yesterday. I think is when I sent it to you, and then
Literally,
today.
I saw this trailer before you sent it to me, um, just because it all of a sudden popped up, and I was like, didn't Mike send me this? Why is this longer? And then I watched it, and I was like, oh, that's why. And then I
That when
looked at the
I saw
I
the
looked because
posts, yeah.
I looked at the dates of the two of them, and I was like, oh, like I thought you were like behind, because I would have thought like anybody else, oh, the teaser trailer came out like last week, and then this one is like this week, and I was like, oh no, it literally was like a day apart.
Nope. No,
But no,
when I first saw the trailer, when I first saw the second trailer, I was, my response was, all right, I already saw this. I was like, wait, no, this was posted like 2 hours ago. It says it released today.
clearly,
And then I saw the time was longer. I was like, they really did this.
yeah, they did. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's gonna be funny, obviously. It's gonna have some heartstring moments as well, but I feel like this is gonna be the most weirdly enough human that we'll get. I know it's weird to
I mean,
say.
until he gets his
I
powers, yeah, I kind of agree
no,
with
but
that.
but you understand my point. Like, yes, you're correct, but like, I don't know, it just throws me off. But I'm not mad about it. But let us talk about the season 4 teaser trailer of Invincible. Now, I hesitated to call it a teaser trailer, but I don't know what else to call it. This one was by far the funniest one of them all.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was pretty comical. It's just
Because they picked
constant
on
no.
everything. They
Oh yeah.
but it was a pick. They picked on everything the way they do it, and she's like, "I can't believe you had Alan and Cecil here before me." And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Oh yeah."
Like sorry.
We all we also got Thrawn. No, not Thrawn. What is his name? Oh my god.
Throg.
Throg. Throg. It's like it was so close, but I'm like, I'm not. I know that's not right.
Or no,
Um,
not Throg. Thrag.
Thrag.
I th-
Close
I think
enough.
it's
Can we agree that it's close enough?
yeah. No, it's either Throg or Thrag. I think it's Thrag, but either way.
So we are getting him. The voice actor has been confirmed. Um, and he we're going to be seeing us getting a lot closer to um, seeing a war, and
Yep.
I am very much looking forward to it. There's a couple of things I don't want to spoil to Mike that happens in the comics because I don't know if it will happen, but I also don't want to spoil it because I feel like it would be something fun for you. So yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Um, very much so. I mean, we've been looking forward to it, but we got a date. We don't have a full date though. We just have March of 2026.
Correct. We don't have the. We don't know when yet.
No, but I mean, and that doesn't ruin anything. It gives us an idea,
Yep.
which is, I think, the same time as last year or this year. Am I incorrect?
I think this year was February.
Okay, I
It
couldn't
it
remember.
started in Feb. I think if it started in February and ended in March, and then obviously season two started. It was split into two
Well,
parts. Where then
season
it
two we don't count. We don't count.
we don't talk about season two.
We don't count. Well, you can talk about season two now because you can watch it all at once.
Valid.
But we don't talk about the release. Um, okay, yeah. So I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm looking forward to it either way. So we're gonna see what happens.
Oh shucks, I forgot. There was one more trailer that came out that I forgot to send you.
What was it?
It's called Bat Fam. It releases
Oh,
on Amazon Prime on
no, I've seen
November
it.
10th. You saw it?
It's gonna be like, am I correct? It's gonna be a comedy. Like it's meant
Yeah.
for like children, correct? It's
It
not gonna
look
be
it
like a
looks
comedy.
it looks very much for children.
Because I think if I remember correctly, because Bat Fam, he's a big boy. Bat
Yeah,
Fam.
he's very very bulky with a giant chin.
Yeah. Um. We still have no word on My Adventures with Superman, which irritates me.
Yeah, that one they've been on voice recording for a while now, so I'm a little disappointed in that. I am very much looking forward to that. Seeing that we're talking about
Okay,
other
so
stuff as well.
no, I will say this.
All right.
It is slated to premiere this year, still,
Oh, is it? Okay.
but there's no date. The only thing that has been confirmed though is Superboy's in it.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. Okay.
So
That's
Superboy
cool.
has been announced that he's going to be in it, and it looks like it's the Superboy that Lex clones. So not like his son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there is no
I'm
original
curious.
Superboy.
Yes, there is. I'm curious when it would come out that would work because I don't think he would want to release it around the same time as Supergirl. So, which which would be better to release it in the beginning of the year or towards the end of the year? Obviously, depending on how.
Mike, it says 2025, so this year.
Oh.
So sometime between now and the end of the year.
Never mind.
Gotta help you out.
My bad. All right. Yeah, I feel like that's actually. I feel like that's delayed.
I don't. I will say this: they're not officially delaying it. That's all I can see.
They're not officially delaying it, and obviously they already did surprise drop the last season, kind of basically. So it could they could do the same
Same thing
thing,
again.
but um, I don't know. I just feel like it. I feel it's
Oh,
weird
it.
doing that
I'm.
for
I'm.
this because
Also,
it's so
I'm.
popular.
I'm hearing a possible November or December, but nothing's confirmed.
All right. Well, either way, when it drops, it drops.
Yeah. So
I
at
feel
least in
like I
post
feel like they
production.
would want to release it. Uh,
No, I was gonna say. So they announced that it's been in post production as of August, so it should be ready to go at any time now. So like
oh,
all
okay.
all of the so it's just like fine tuning things now, if anything. So it should be soon. If
He,
it's not, you know what I'm saying. So
yeah,
whether it's November, December, I'm
they're
okay with it. And
they're
it's not
probably
James
gonna weigh
Gunn.
their options at this. Well, James Gunn runs it.
Does he run that?
Yes, everything DC goes through
Uh,
him.
I'm asking because this was one of the weird ones that like does it fall under the same category? So he
It
he
so
falls under.
he
all
everything
entertainment,
all DC
is going
stuff
through
is going
Hulu's.
through him. Yes, even games too, as long if it's tied into the DC universe.
Oh, that's right, because he's been heavily pushing. He also pushed Mortal Kombat for the season finale, which we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I'm sorry to jump a little bit, but I had to because it's related. But anyway, so we'll have to wait and see. But let us get right into Gen V because we could talk about all these shows forever, but we don't know much about the others.
Well, I was seeing that we were bringing up the
Oh,
Superman stuff as well. There was a couple other shows that were released at Comic Con or talked about at Comic
oh,
Con.
that's right. I heard about this. I heard about this. I don't
Um,
know them, but I knew there was a bunch.
yep, there was Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man will return in season 2 of fall of 2026. Not in
Ew.
no before it because it released in the beginning of the year. It released in January, February last this year. Correct?
Why do I feel like it was September of last year?
I
Um,
do not think it was. I'll look it up
I'm not
at
disagreeing with
right.
you. I'm more of saying like to me it makes more sense because they're doing it like school. As stupid as that sounds.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, but it was a longer wait than yeah,
I knew it was a
January
longer wait.
29th to February
Okay.
19th of 2025.
Oh, that's right. It was the beginning, very beginning of the
Yep.
year. Okay. Yeah, they did
Um
the 2 week thing. That no, no, it was the 4 week thing,
it
but the scheduling was all screwed up. I hated it.
yeah, it was 10 episodes. It was like 3 3 2 2 3. It was it was some weird release thing.
It was like three
Um
two. Yeah, it was something like that. But yeah, it was two threes and two twos. Um,
um
I'm sorry. What else? Continue.
they in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, they said that Daredevil will return and that Venom will appear. Um
Okay. I mean,
they
we
s-
kind of figured
they
that.
yeah. They announced that X-Men 97 is season 2 will come out in the summer of 2026. Um
Okay.
I think that was also a deviation from last season, correct? Or was it late?
Yes, because I don't think they knew for a fact they were getting another season. Because the problem with season one to season two is that you've done season one so early in advance most of the time that you have to
Mm,
wait to find out if there's even going to be a season two. And then of course, I mean, obviously the hope is there, but I mean like you don't know that for a fact until the show actually comes out.
yeah, of course. Um
So season two
at
is
Comic Con they released the trailer for season 2. I didn't see it
of
pop
what?
up, so I don't know. Sorry, of Daredevil Born Again. They released the trailer for it.
Someone's
Um,
gonna get hurt today.
nobody, I have not seen anything posted. Clearly, you didn't. So, but they said that
No, I
there was
didn't.
a scene with Karen and Matt dancing and kissing. Jessica Jones and Foggy appeared, and Fisk was boxing.
Foggy's not dead.
um, and as we know,
He's dead,
if
to be fair.
that is true, but as we also know that Daredevil releases in March of 2026. We did know.
And there's a rumor that there's going to be a third season, correct?
It they confirmed it. Yeah,
Oh, it is confirmed. Sorry, I
it
couldn't remember if it was confirmed
got approved.
or. Okay. Next.
Yep. Then the last one that was announced was Vision Quest. People got a first look. Um, the big thing about that is that all of the AIs that Ultron, Friday, they are getting human um, human
Humanoid
forms.
bodies.
Yep. So I think that's interesting. Um,
I'm not
apparently,
surprised.
it depends on how they do it. I mean, obviously, like they can go in any kind
I
of
I will
direction.
I will I will tell you why. Here's what I'm thinking. Vision's quest is, because at first it was going to go towards like the sitcom esque, which it still could. But I'm thinking more now that they're going to be in the Ethernet,
Mm,
like in the internet. So because of that, they're gonna be how they perceive themselves. So like, Vision is not Vision. It's gonna be like Jarvis, obviously. If you understand
yep.
what I mean, like obviously it's Vision, but I mean, to me, Vision is the body, Jarvis is the brain.
Yep, and they said Jarvis is appearing. So they they the people that the androids, I guess, that were named was Ultron, Friday, Edith, Jarvis, and Dummy. Which I'll be honest, I don't remember who Dummy is. So that one kind of is just.
Mike, if we had to tell you who Dummy is, it's not going to go well.
And then the
Unfortunately, you
other
just won't remember.
oh, there you go. And the other thing that was mentioned, which we kind of got I confirmed at the end of WandaVision, was White Vision does indeed have all of the memories that the original Vision has, but he cannot connect to his emotions.
Oh, Dummy. I, he's the claw thing that kept screwing up in Iron Man.
I have to. Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. I don't think I
That's
put
funny.
two and two together that that's what it was. But anyway, sorry,
The
continue.
the one scene that was ever that was in the 23 years that this has been going on.
No, he's been in a lot. He's been in all of the Iron Man.
Was he? I thought it was like one and what was he, the
He was he
first one?
really didn't have a name until like the third one, I think.
Oh, I thought it was the first one that he got the name
Because he
in.
wasn't. No, I don't think he was Dummy yet.
That's fair. Either way. But yeah, that's all I've gotten for what has been announced so far from Comic Con.
What about DC?
Nothing's been announced from DC.
Suck.
It was
Um,
only Marvel and Invincible that was talked about at Comic Con, right? So far.
but I will say though, I'm looking forward to that. Vision Quest is also supposed to be the conclusion of the Wanda story,
Yes. Yep.
um, which is such a weird trilogy. Like, can we talk? That's an episode in of itself. We'll discuss later. But that is the weirdest trilogy of shows.
And that's for sure. I mean,
But realistically works. Like as weird as that sounds, like it works. But anyway, so let us move on to Gen V. I was not prepared for this.
no, this was
Um,
a really good episode.
this
Um,
no, this was a great episode, and I'm gonna say something controversial. I think this was better than the season finale of Peacemaker.
I no, I don't think that's controversial. I agree with you.
Thank you. I was worried I was gonna get hung out to dry. But anyway,
No.
so we start off right where the last episode ended, where we bring her back to life, Annabeth, and then they try to escape because all of a sudden now the guards are trying to get her.
Yep.
Um, and then they run, but Annabeth is somehow aware of what's going on, which I will admit that soup was not what I was thinking of with that. I was actually thinking that this was a trap set off by Sister Sage, and especially when
Hmm.
they hit the dead end, I was like, "Oh, this was all part of the plan. She is against them." And then all of a sudden Sam comes crashing through and I'm like, "I don't know what's going on."
No, that one. I was like, and where did you come from? Like, that one was no. I agree with everything that you just said. Where it was like it definitely was a trap, and then it. I was when she led them to the dead end. I was like, oh my god, I was right. Where Annabeth was actually working with them, and then she wasn't. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that. But anyway, um, we then also find out that obviously she's a soup and she has the ability of precognition, um, but is unable to control it.
She has to
That's it.
really focus.
I'm also wondering too if it's she can only focus. The reason why she's only seeing the immediate future is because I feel, she is not embracing her power enough. So because of that, the only things she sees are the most certain things.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, she said it in the episode where she hates the idea that she's a soup, and she wants to try to hide it. So the fact that she hasn't been training and trying to.
And also, I love when Marie asked the question of like, how did you become a soup? I don't know. I would have asked my parents, but they're not around. And I was like, ooh, oh, it hurt everywhere.
There was so many times in this episode where I was just getting pissed off because it's like again constant scapegoating and blaming Marie for something that was not her fault.
Here's the thing. I don't disagree with you, but I think that also plays to the dynamic of it is a lot easier to blame Marie
Oh, it is.
because you can lash out your anger at her, whereas you cannot blame your parents because weirdly enough they're dead. So it's like it's to the void. I need to let out this
No,
anger.
it
I'm going
is.
to take it out on you, and I don't like it necessarily, obviously, but at the same time, I'm like it makes sense to me. I don't like it, but it makes sense.
No, no, no.
Also,
I agree. Like it does not. It isn't right, and I like you said, I don't like it, and it annoys me, as I just said. But I understand it because you have to find somewhere to put the anger, and unfortunately, it's your sister, who
yes, who takes
is
the
just
brunt
like you.
of it all.
Um,
Yeah, so we then have them in the library, which also I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if you were terrified by the library, but I was. No, did you see what what happened in the library? Like legitimately,
no, no, I missed
all
it.
all of the books about fascism and like dictatorship were burnt.
Oh, oh no, I
So
didn't
like
pick up on
all the
that.
book. Oh no, because you on in the pile was 1980. Oh, what is the name of the book? 1982, 1984.
I sent you a picture of it. I'll pull it up.
I know I did, and you would think I would remember. It's a date, and I can't remember the number. It's 1980 something. Um,
I think you're right about 1982. I feel like
but yeah,
1984.
1984. All right. But you get my point. So anyway, so that's when I was like, oh, they're burning all the literacy of what's to come, and Sister Sage is unfortunately very smart into doing that because when you get rid of history, it will repeat itself, and nobody will know better. But
Man, where have I heard this before?
um, Mike, I can just do it vaguely. You don't need to make it obvious.
Well,
That's the
I'm
funny
keeping it
part.
vague.
I am. That's why I'm so good with my linguistic skills. And listen,
Yeah.
when it comes to like the simple stuff, go on. For complex stuff, I am phenomenal. Don't ask questions. I'll never understand it.
I didn't point any kind of fingers. It's just a very common saying that history repeats itself if you don't learn it. So that's a very common saying.
No, you're not wrong. And then I forget what his name is. Is it the Viking? What is his name? Is it
They
Viking?
call him
I
they call him the Viking. Yeah,
Yeah, he a big boy. He a big boy, and he comes in
he
blasting
he's
it.
scary.
He
Yeah.
it wasn't even so much that I was scared of him. It was the fact that Sam was getting beat up, and I was like, "Oh, we're just dying today." Like I was legitimately like, "Everyone's dying."
Well, here's the thing: is like yes, because Sam is the powerhouse and he's getting beat
Don't get me
up.
wrong.
I
Marie could
get
have
it.
easily got rid of him, but you get my point.
Well, no, no, no. I was actually going along the lines of saying that Sam is the powerhouse, but he is an uncontrolled powerhouse. So he doesn't. He's not. They never trained him how to do anything. Like he's just a wild card. And if he's going up against
Yeah,
someone who's actually knows how to fight, he doesn't stand a chance. In actuality,
especially when their powers are identical.
yeah. Like he's
I'll give
just
you that.
they're both bulls, and one bull is more trained than the other. So
Yeah,
you
like
know
honestly, the only thing that would have been better is if you would have saw him as a puppet. Then he would have won.
that would have been funny. Although apparently, it was this episode. Yeah, this episode. He doesn't really
It
see
was this
puppets that
episode.
much anymore. So that's interesting.
Well, yes, but we also know that he has recently seen them.
Yes,
Um,
he has recently seen him, but he doesn't. It's not as often as he had in the past.
and technically, it's inanimate objects. It is not people this time, which is also a distinction.
That is true. Yeah, he did
Which
this.
I want to make clear as well, because that is weirdly enough, he's able to keep himself into reality enough to see people as people, but unfortunately, inanimate objects are going to be just whatever they want to be. Um, so then we have the Viking just beating everyone up, and then we have Newman's daughter just rip his head off with her snake tentacles.
She grew up, man. Like I did. I when I first saw her, I was like,
So
"Who is this?"
we saw the beginning of it with the flashback of the daughter, and I still did not register who she was when she first came in. It
I
wasn't
know.
until I saw Edgar where I was like, ah, I know who she is.
Well, yeah, no, literally. I'm like, wait, how, have we seen this person before? Like, why is she? Like, why am I supposed to know her? And
Yeah, like
then,
I was legitimately like, is Sam hallucinating?
no, I didn't do that.
That
That
legit
I
no,
didn't.
that legitimately was what I was thinking at that point. Um, but yeah, it was definitely just a weird one in general. But so she rips him in head. Well, no, she rips his head off, but not like at the neck. It's at the mouth, which whatever. Um, and then
Gruesome,
takes him to the
very gory
compound.
for a little girl.
Not for her. So then they get taken to the compound because realistically Edgar only wants Marie.
Hmm.
However, she says you got to take everyone, and he's like, fine, everyone could come because I really only care about you. And so we go to this deep down underground like mansion underground place. This place is beautiful. There is a
Yeah,
house that you need to see that I got to show you that is similar to this, and it actually does exist in the world. Um,
like an underground bunker.
So it's not an under. So it's weird. It's not considered an underground bunker. It is considered just a house that happens to be under the ground, but it is not that deep. It's like I think that there's because the light comes from up, and so like the second floor of the house. And it was going to sound weird to say, which is technically the first. It's complicated. So
Eh,
the second floor of it is where has these like pillars that go up that the sunlight hits and illuminates the whole house.
interesting.
It's
Okay.
so anyway. This isn't that far fetched, is what I'm getting at. However, obviously, the idea is similar, um, but like they all these places have um, like trees in it, and I've never understood it because they're all like actually legitimate trees, but they're inside the house, and there's no like it's underground, so it just blows my mind. So weirdly enough, it's not that shocking that the tree exists because it's a commonplace thing, but I also think it has to do with the oxygen.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like,
the the because you're
well,
underground,
it
you
removes.
less.
Well, I think it removes the CO2 fast enough, so it then produces like the O2 is not necessarily needed as much as the removal of the CO2 is. Um, but I don't know the science behind it. But anyway, beautiful place, um, massive, and they all get dressed and cleaned, and then he decides to cook for them, which
Yeah,
really threw me
because
off.
he doesn't get to cook that often, so he
And
for
he paid
guests.
somebody six figures to teach him how to cook, so might as well learn it. I might as well do it. And like that is the concept that just—it's not even that it's a concept that blows my mind. It is the fact that it's a thing. And he's like, well, I don't want to waste the money. It's like you already wasted the money. You
I
originally
mean,
had it.
in his defense, he probably got this before he had to go into hiding. So,
To be fair, also he also had so much money that that was not even a waste of money
I mean, that's also
at that
true.
point.
Yeah. I mean, he probably
Um,
still has so much money that it's not a waste of money, but you know,
I will argue that it's more finite than it was before.
I mean, yes,
I'm not saying it's still not alive. I'm saying that it's not coming in as much as it used to.
obviously, he's in hiding, but it's like,
Um, so yeah, I also like the fact that there's the layer of zinc, so X-ray vision can't find them. Um, and so the idea is we find out about Project Odessa, and apparently, Homelander was made in the '80s as part of Odessa. I thought
hmm
everyone was going to be like Marie in Odessa. I was wrong. But I was correct that the idea was the project was to create basic god level, like above the average soups, which I was
yep,
correct on. I just was wrong about like it still
who,
was random the powers.
yep. and yes, and there have only in very big emphasis that there was only two survivors,
Two
and that was
survivors.
like
So I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was dead set that when they said only two survivors, it was Newman and her. Just because of power wise. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Because I
I
was
didn't
thinking.
I didn't think Homelander was going to be that. I thought it was Homelander was just like a fluke situation, not that like they a specific soup that was created with a purpose. But obviously, it also still makes sense that because of Homelander, now they wanted to create another one that was a uh, less less volatile uh, test subject. I guess I don't.
I think the idea was you saw it as perfection once, as weird as it sounds, like it worked, so therefore it should work again. And I also like the fact too that during Marie's time, it was considered a failure because her powers never showed like
It
Homelander's did
took yeah,
in the
it
beginning.
took a while.
So because of that, it was also interesting to know that she was the last group of it. So
Mm,
Odessa had been shut down, which means now that they've seen her be successful, Odessa's gonna come back.
absolutely, because that's how science works. At least evil science.
Well, realistically, the idea is once you get a success, you want to continue to make the success, regardless of how many failures you get.
Yep.
Also, so anyway, I will briefly go into like they basically went to that, and then Marie decides to leave, and Kate follows her. But the only reason why Kate follows her is because she wants Marie to fix her.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and then she leaves everyone else behind. Also, kind of surprised that Edgar just doesn't have security to let him know that somebody's leaving, unless this is part of his plan.
I mean, at this point, he doesn't care about her anymore because once he found out that Godolkin was alive, he's like, okay, I have a new target now. You're no longer any use to me. Like he literally did not care about them at all after he found out about Godolkin. So
That is also true. So the idea is we have confirmation that Godolkin has never been found,
mhm.
um, and we obviously assumed that the guy in the the chamber is him. Um, Also, a lot of slapping to the face today. A lot
Yeah,
of hitting.
legit.
I was uncomfortable, and I like how he was doing physical therapy with the body, started slapping him, and then continued to do the physical therapy again.
Well, he got pissed because he got a bad phone call.
No, I know, but it doesn't make it any better. That doesn't help it. Um,
And it's like one of those things where where this is going on. I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't. Maybe Godolkin isn't controlling him, but then I'm like, he could just be some sick, twisted guy that it's like he likes
well,
this or wants.
But remember, he that when we saw the sex scene in the last episode, he likes pain.
Yeah,
So like he might get his rocks off by being slapped, but the idea
yeah,
is
that's what
he's
I
being
mean.
a bad boy. He's being a
Uh
bad
huh.
boy, so he needs to be punished. Which I don't. That's just so. It's not. Here's the thing. It's not that it's weird because I'm not trying to kink shame. It's weird that he's doing it to himself in another body. I just think
Yes.
it's. I think that's the part that's weird. It's not the fact that he gets off on being in pain. Or it's more of the fact that it's the outside body hitting the other body, and it's like bad boy. Um,
I got nothing to say to this. To say, yeah.
I don't know. I think I should have said less, but I can't stop now. One of the big things
I'm
were
well aware. Like I got what you said, and you just kept going, and I'm like, I don't know how to stop this. I just gotta wait for you to stop, and
you just have to let it come get out of my system. You just have to let it get out. Once it's out, it's good. Um, I'm trying to. Oh, we just saw Polaris. We also saw Polaris get taken over by Cipher.
yeah, that was messed up. I I don't know that one
Why?
freaked me out a bit.
No, but this also gave us an idea. Well, it gave me an idea. I don't know why
Hmm.
you. You weren't there for my idea. So Polaris broke out, used his willpower to break out.
Hmm.
So at first, you would have thought that it was a magnetic wave that happened, but in actuality, his willpower knocked Cypher out of his head, which apparently can knock Cypher away.
Well, I think so. I think what happened in that situation is that
Some
Cypher egged him
combination of the
on
two.
enough. Yeah, I think Cypher egged him on enough that because he was mocking his son, he got enough willpower that he wanted to kill him. So he, like you said, got knocked him out of his head because of his willpower. And then once he realized he was gone, that's when he used his own power to knock him back. Um, because everything else went flying as well, not just Cipher. All right.
No, that is right. You walk. Yeah, you're right. Interesting. Well, I also think too, like as weird as it sounds, and I think this is part of the reason why him and his son have the seizures, is because their power is to manipulate electromagnetic wavelengths, and the human brain has a little bit of it. And so I wonder if he was actually able to stop him. Maybe not technically with willpower alone. It was actually his power.
I mean, I think it was a
Combination of the two. It has
combination of
to.
both.
It has to be. It has to be two because he still has to have the willpower to be able to break the control enough to do that. So I do get
Yeah,
your point. Also, the fact that Cypher just walks away was also kind of well. We don't see him walk away, but like the
he's just
assumption
gone.
is he walks away. Yeah.
I mean, I
Um,
think I think he probably got freaked out and actually booked it, but they're not going to show that because they want him to be cool and collective.
and he is the creepiest. He is. This is where it gets weird because in the boys' universe, it is hard to get somebody who will be the right amount of evil, creepy, and oddly sexual, all mixed into one, and still be new because that's the whole shtick of the boys. And yet they did a great job with this guy. Like I know
Yeah,
nothing about him really. We don't. We know he's creepy as all heck, and the more we get to know about him, the more creeped out I am.
the more creeped out you get, and the more questions you have.
I feel like every time we have an answered question, we get six more questions unanswered, and it doesn't help.
No, they are building this season so well. Like
They're 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 building the universe too. I feel at the same time,
oh
and doing
yeah,
such a well job of it, just a great job of it. But overall, great. I I mean, obviously, this next episode is going to be her going back to Cipher.
yes, because she wants to get her answers and get
but also
Godolkin.
keep everyone but also to keep everyone safe because the idea is the promise is if she goes there, everyone else is safe regardless of where they are.
Hmm.
And
Yes,
then Kate just wants her brain fixed, which is whatever. um
I don't blame her.
I mean, I don't blame her, but I'm like, she also could kill you easier too, so it's like, I don't know. It's kind of a catch-22 there, but I guess she trusts her enough. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next episode because I legitimately don't really know where it's going. Like, we know the basics. We know we're going to see her go to Cypher. We know he's going to train her more. But like the idea of how it's going to be done, no concept. I don't have a concept anymore. I can't because every time I
No,
think
I
I have a
mean
concept, they blow it out of the water, and
we
they do a
we
great
know
job.
we know where the end direction is, the end of the direction of the show is going, but we don't we they're throwing in twists and turns that's adding so much to it that, like you said, we're getting more
Well,
questions as things are getting answered, and it's great. Like
no, absolutely. This has been a great thing where it's like every like next episode we get the question that we want answered for the most part,
mhm.
but then
Yeah,
we then go we have no concept of what's going on. Meaning like
yeah.
all this other stuff like, oh yeah, we'll give you that. But then how here you go and you're like I want to know that now. Like I don't I don't that I thought that was the big question. That was nothing compared to this one. Like I need that
Yeah.
answered now. Um, but yeah,
You know what's
Supernatural
funny
was
is at
great.
the end of at the end of almost every episode, I'm just sitting here going like Scott's probably pissed because every episode you're like, I don't know where we're going with this. Because I know you're one of those guys that you got the mixed thing where you like the surprise, but at the same time you want to know what's coming next, and the fact that
No,
they
I know.
keep
I
throwing
think.
these curveballs at you, it's like eating you inside. I can imagine that.
Well, no, I. You know what's weird? It's not. It's not.
Oh, well,
I
that's
don't
good.
know if it's. I don't know if it's just because it's. I don't know if it's because my like attention span is slightly increased, or if it's like it's just so well written that it doesn't bother me.
Oh, okay.
If you understand what I'm saying, like you know what I
Yep.
mean, like
No, I do.
um, I don't know. I think that could be it. I don't know. Maybe it's also because there's just a bunch of stuff coming out all at once that it's like I don't have enough time to even think about it, type of thing.
Also true. Yeah.
That could also be a
We're
factor,
starting to get overloaded with stuff, so that's
which
true.
is not a bad thing. I want to make that very clear. That it's not a bad thing. I'm just stating like it's one of those things where I don't even have a time. I don't have a chance to be like, what? Like why don't we know the answer? Then it's like, oh, the episode's tomorrow. Like I'm fine.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's kind of where my head is right now. So I don't get like super worried about that. But let us move. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Gen V?
No, I think we're ready to move on to Peacemaker.
Yeah. Okay. How do I want to phrase this? Um.
I will phrase it like this, and I can you can tell me if you agree with me or not. The
I'm glad that you're
episode
speaking.
the episode was a good episode, but it felt kind of like a letdown in terms of what the rest of the season had been building up towards.
All right.
Um,
I agree with you, but can I add to?
Go right ahead.
I also think that this episode was more of like we're gonna just spend this entire episode expanding on the DCU instead of concluding season 2 of Peacemaker.
The Yes. Yeah. I mean, they concluded season 2 of Peacemaker, but they did it in like it felt kind of rushed in that sense.
Well, because they spent all that time focusing on expanding the universe
Everything
between the
else,
two.
yeah, yeah,
Also, Lex runs Argus basically.
pretty much. Yep, pretty much. Lex is in control of Argus. Um, uh, check checkmate. Checkmate consists of the 11th Street Gang and Flurry and
Judo
Bordeaux
Master.
and Judo Master. Basically, all the misfits that were like fed up with Rick Flag Senior. Um,
Yeah. Well, the big idea was just to kind of give people context of why they did that was because we found out that the reason why they wanted the portal was to find a habitable dimension as much as possible. So then the idea was, the thought was, I'll say it this way. Let me rephrase it this way. The thought was it was for to gather more resources and everything else. That was the thought. That was kind of
mhm,
the illusion that was given. However, it turns out that it was going to be used for a meta prison.
yes. Um, and like going off of that, where it's like the first, like I felt like the first half of the episode was like it was exciting because we were going into these portals, we were getting lots of things, new things
It
that
felt like
we
it was going
weren't
to.
experiencing.
Can I ask you this? Did you or did you not think that the 11th Street Gang was going to fight Argus to stop the portals?
I thought they were building towards that. Yeah.
That's what I thought. And then it didn't. And I was kind of like, oh, this is not where it was going. I'm kind of
Yeah,
surprised.
and then everyone ended up finding Peacemaker, and they just ran off it happily in the sunset until Peacemaker got kidnapped, pretty much. So
Yeah.
like I said, it was a good episode. It was a feel good episode. Meant to give off hope in the terms of what they were building, and it did give some conclusions in terms of like the gang coming together, that they need each other, that they're stronger together, and all that stuff. It just felt like out of place for what was just previously going on. And it felt like it kind of just rushed to that instance. Um,
Yeah. I kind of have to agree with you on that one 100%. Um, it just it felt like it was, yeah, it felt rushed. It felt like it was. I felt like it was more of like a tie-in to what other shows or and movies will be coming out in DCU potentially, based on what
Hmm.
we're seeing here. But that's me right this second. I was just a little disappointed in like how it ended because it's like he got everything he wanted, and then all of a sudden they're like, I feel like that should have been. I don't know. I don't. I understand it. Like it makes sense. Like Rick Flag would take him and use him as the experiment on what this new universe can do to the human body. But
Yep.
realistically, it was a punishment for his son being killed.
Yep. No. Yep. It is.
Also, the fact
Um.
that he was so close with Lex's guys was really creeping me out. I don't know about you.
No. Yeah. Definitely. Especially after it was one of those things where it just came out of nowhere because of how he was acting in Superman. I get the change in attitude because of the events that he found out after he became in control of Argus, like learning all this stuff and the cover up. So he's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to work with my enemy because I'm going to accomplish my goal. Um, and unfortunately,
And
he became a puppet.
I also sort of understand the idea because he's pissed off about prison escapes. Um, because he doesn't like them, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
so I get it, but it felt weird to me that he was teaming up with Lex fully. I don't know. I felt like maybe his whole thing was I get Peacemaker, and we get to also get rid of the meta problem as well.
I mean, I think you're misremembering his character entirely because yes, in Superman he was against Lex Luthor but at the same time you go watch Creature Commandos again, he turned on his team because he wanted to get some from a queen who was literally about to commit mass
No, that
murder.
is true. He's only cares about himself.
Yeah,
So you're right. He should have
he
been
had
allies.
it should have been, but because of recency bias with watching Superman and his
No, that's
character from
fair. That's
that,
fair.
um so like the Rick Flag is not a good person. He,
No, 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 no. And I don't think I walked into this series thinking he was gonna be the good guy.
yeah, no, I mean
I
obviously we
just
knew
I
that,
just
but
don't I don't know. I just didn't think of him as weirdly enough at the same level as Lex. And what I don't mean by that is like evil wise. I don't mean
no.
like damage wise. I mean like
Now
weapon wise.
but I agree with you. Like it didn't it I forgot about that, and after watching the episode I was going, scrolling through Twitter and I'm seeing people talking about it and someone brought that up and I was like that totally makes sense. Like I forgot that in Creature Commandos he was a terrible person as well. Like he tried to
He was.
portray being a good person to gain people's trust, but then when it came time to it, he turned on his own squad because he for his own personal gains.
Yeah.
Um
Um.
like he
Also,
like
don't.
in this I mean in this episode he was letting his soldiers die and he was just sitting there laughing and having a good time with his goons. So I mean,
Yes. No, true. I also like the fact too that they used the blood money to make checkmate.
yep, yep. um
So much money.
I'm very
I don't think
curious.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I was registering that the whole palette was money
Oh no,
until
that
this
one, yeah.
episode.
No, I knew it
You know
was
what I'm saying?
all money. Yep, I knew it was
I
all
didn't.
money.
I thought there was like a mixture. I thought like anyway, it doesn't matter. It just was.
There was like
There was a
one
lot of
pallet of
mixture.
money. There was one pallet of money, one pallet of cocaine, one pallet of money, one pallet of cocaine. It was like
Oh my
all.
gosh, so much. But yeah, it was. It was interesting. Also, he was
I'm
playing.
very
He was
in
also playing Nintendo, and I believe was that the Switch 2 he was playing on.
who
He.
vigilante.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think I could tell.
I couldn't tell. I
I
wasn't like really focusing on that, so I couldn't say.
no, I could. I also don't think I like immediately I went Switch and then didn't question Switch 1 or 2, meaning like I just went Switch mentally.
Probably two.
Not that it really matter. It doesn't really matter. I just was curious for myself. Um, but yeah, I just
I
like it was so good in the sense of like the blood money and everything else. and then this buildup of like the relationship between him and Hardcourt, and it's like I'm like okay, okay, and then I'm like, and then it kind of just like got taken away so quickly, and I'm like that's I felt like it was a big kick in the pants. You know what I mean?
I think what pissed me off more about this, which is really affecting my attitude overall for this episode and now overall for the season, is that after this episode aired, James Gunn did an interview and he said that there are currently no plans to make a season 3 of Peacemaker.
I know.
So it's like, what was the point? Like, we're setting up all this stuff in this universe, like, this
So
clearly could be leading
here's
to,
my
like,
I
they're
have a
setting up
thought.
for
I have
other
a thought.
projects, but like most of this should be for a season 3. It's like
No,
all the ingredients are there for a season 3.
I feel like the idea was you leave it ambiguous for a season 3, right? And then you spend all the time boosting up all these other projects that you might see these people in. But I feel like that method was why people were not happy with the MCU.
I mean, definitely.
You
Because
understand what I'm saying?
people were getting overloaded.
Well,
Absolutely.
because it was so much at once, and then they were everything was getting delayed. Like we had obviously, like we had Secret Invasion introduced in WandaVision, but it took forever for that to come out. And then there was,
Well, I mean, the thing is that like it was what when they were coming out with this heavy bulk of stuff is like even with the delays, like people could be okay with the delays, but it like even though there were delays, it was
it was still
bad
the quality
quality.
was not correct. No, no, and I think that was the
Like
big thing with.
we got some of the worst shows and movies out of that whole situation, and I mean that still hurts them. Like overall, people have now turned away because they are so upset with what has come. Which I can understand because it's like, oh, if
Oh
this
no,
is the direction that they're going, why are we going to continue to support you?
right,
Um,
that I don't disagree. I just think it's. I feel like I had a lot of hope for the DCU, and I'm not saying like it's ruined. Like it's not like it's completely ruined, but I felt like Peacemaker was the show that was like getting. I don't know. It's just weird to me that they would mess up their, in my opinion, the big money maker right now.
I mean, yes, I mean that was definitely the most popular thing, and
I'm not saying it was gonna be forever. I'm not oblivious to that, but it's more the fact of like it's kind of like the big start, and I'm like, and to also say like, oh, we have no plans for season 3 right now, is kind of like I don't know.
I mean, like
It's
it's frustrating, but at the same time, yes, I agree with you in terms of like they're setting up the other projects because I mean they are with Salvation Planet. That sets up a much bigger picture. Checkmate sets up a much bigger picture. We got
wait, that's called
hints.
Salvation Planet.
Yes.
Is it just a bunch of dinosaurs?
Okay, so I'll give you a bit of history. So yes, it is a bunch of killer animals on that planet, but
Oh, killer animals. Okay.
it is but it is a training ground for Apocalypse. Apocalypse would send its prisoners and warriors there, and if they survived, then they would move up the ranks. The expectation is if you get sent to Salvation, you are going to die, and if you are lucky enough to survive, then you are, you know, earn your favor to Darkseid. So this is setting up Darkseid. So
I don't know. I mean,
it has an end game. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
I mean, I guess they could have the army come instead of Darkseid himself, but like I'm thinking of like day. Is it Day of Tomorrow? What is it? Man of Tomorrow? No, Men of Tomorrow. Superman's Men.
Man of Tomorrow. Yes.
Man of Tomorrow. I mean, I guess they could have the army instead of actually Darkseid because Darkseid himself wouldn't think he needed to come down. Um, I don't know. I just feel like it's early for Darkseid, but then again,
I
at the
mean I
same
agree,
time,
but they're setting like the. I mean, if you remember, he said it at the beginning. Is that this
well,
phase is
Thanos was
called.
also Thanos was introduced in Avengers 1, technically.
No, but what I was saying is he's splitting up the DCU in phases, and this phase is called Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
So we got Creature Commandos, we got Superman with the monsters, we've gotten Peacemaker with some monsters, and now we're getting to the
Yes.
gods. Now we're getting to the gods part, and who's the biggest god right now of them all, and that is well known.
Well, he's a new god. He's a new god. He's
He's a new
Arceus,
god, yeah. So,
which he's not new anymore. But
well, yes, but
no, no. But
I do love that aspect, and I mean, we're gonna,
no, no. I
we'll.
too. But I think for me, it's more the fact of like
I agree with you in
it's
terms of that they sacrificed Peacemaker to set up
yes.
the broader universe, and
That's more of what
they
I'm thinking of, and that's my issue.
they could have still done this while not sacrificing the finale of Peacemaker.
Well,
And
because the
I
whole idea
personally
was
think,
they found it, and then they go. All of a sudden, we get a similar scene, but it's the out crew that goes out there, and they get attacked by these creatures. You know what I'm saying? Like there was other ways of doing it, and I felt like, weirdly enough, I still wouldn't have been happy with it, but it would have been a lot better if Peacemaker wasn't taken and thrown in there.
yeah,
Because you know what I'm saying? Like I still thought it should have been a little bit more of a like climactic ending instead of it kind of being like we're just gonna fight power like we're gonna fight agency with agency instead of like doing something else.
yeah,
Um, but oh well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we're definitely gonna be seeing these characters again. There's no way we won't. Um,
absolutely,
it's just more of the fact of figuring out how that's gonna happen. But um,
yeah.
let us get right into your character spotlight unless you have something else.
No,
Oh,
I'm ready to move on.
actually, I do have one thing to say. Um, was there any after credit scene, or was the after credit scene technically him getting thrown in there? It was all the like, or no, because it was the joke ones. It was Economos making that girl laugh, and
Oh
then
yeah.
it was what was the other one? I think it was him again. Also, I think they both were him, which is even
Oh
funnier.
man.
But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it wasn't anything actually
No, it wasn't
significant.
anything. No, it wasn't anything significant. I just thought there was gonna. The reason why I thought there was gonna be an after credit scene was just because it was the season finale. That was the only reason.
I agree.
And I was
I
wrong.
thought there was too. Yeah.
So anyway, your character spotlight, Mike, is it part of this Savage Land?
No, it is not. Well,
Oh,
it
indirectly,
could be. It could be. Um,
not blatantly, but it might touch it.
this this week I decided to talk about Checkmate. Um,
I wonder why.
they are a group that was originally found that was originally created in March of 1988. Now the thing that we're seeing in the DCU versus the comics, they are they are changing that story a little bit. In the
Well, I would
comics,
assume so.
well, in the comics, Checkmate is still a branch technically of Argus, but Argus becomes Checkmate, whereas Checkmate in the DCU is like they're branching off. So like their Checkmate is Argus. It's just been rebranded in the comics. So they were still doing all that terrible stuff and whatever. And it seems like in James
Like
Gunn's universe,
like Task
they're
Force
going.
X to Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? Like the names change because of like political stuff. Is that kind of more of what you're getting at? Like did they change the name type of thing? Like they branched off but then became a part of it, or
Well, no, like
vice versa?
like no. So like Argus literally became Checkmate. So like
Yeah, so they just rebranded stuff.
yeah, sure. Amanda Waller got stepped down or had been taken out of power, and Checkmate was formed because of that. If I'm understanding it correctly. Um, but anyways, so the name Checkmate is taken from the winning move in chess. The agency's hierarchy is modeled after the various pieces of a chess game: one king, one queen, and several bishops, rooks, knights, and pawns. The bishops oversaw the rooks behind the scenes, while the rooks planned missions and supervised the field agents or the knights, and the knights supported the pawns. History of the agency. The agency is first set up by Amanda Waller to serve as a small branch of Task Force X under the command of Colonel Valentina Vostok. Um, she used to be the negative woman who was a part of the Doom Patrol. Valentina performed operations worldwide considered vital to the security of American interest. She relinquished command to Harry Stein, who recreates the agency into a new image and organization dubbed Checkmate in relation to its chess piece inspired schemes. Um, the Janus Directive is a crossover storyline that involves an interagency war between Checkmate, Suicide Squad, and Project Atom, who are all manipulated by Cobra in order to distract the United States intelligence community from his activities. Checkmate loses at least 38 of its highly trained agents, as well as its headquarters in Shelby, Virginia, in this uh, in this incident where that Cobra had created. In the aftermath, Sarge Steele takes Waller's place as head of Checkmate, and Checkmate relocates to a new NORAD base in Colorado. There is also a Russian version of Checkmate, and it is introduced in the last issue of the series run. They are an underfunded section of the organization. They're an underfunded, weak U.S. counterpart. Checkmate's hierarchy is remodeled in a manner set to Marvel Comics' Hellfire Club, with the overall system kind of being similar to Shield. The chess motif remains, but there are sets of kings and queens as well as bishops divided between a black and white set. Their functions remain the same, although neither rooks nor pawns are seen. The kings and queens are heads of each specific department. Bishops oversee plans behind the scenes, similar to what it was before. The rooks plan the missions, and the knights carry out the plans in the field. And similarly, pawns support the knights. And specifically, they provide surveillance and, if needed, closer backup. They kind of split the Checkmate. They kind of split you in two sections where it's black and white. The black section of Checkmate was the ops division, and the white section was the intelligence. This kind of was inspired by the CIA in the real world. Sarge Steele reactivates Checkmate in a later comic series, in a Deathstroke comic series. Sarge had resurrected Checkmate in order to find a Deathstroke who had gone missing. Eventually, he was found, but he was in a comatose state. A man called David Sed has taken over the role of king within the organization, and in the Night Moves storyline, Checkmate invades the Batcave in order to recruit the Huntress. On Batman's word, she agrees to temporarily assume the mantle of Queen, using this position to relay information to Batman on multiple occasions. After the events of the Bruce Wayne murdered comic, his bodyguard and partner, Sasha Bordeaux, is framed for murder of Vesper Fairchild. She is recruited as a Checkmate operative by Jessica Midnight. as the two fake her death and Sasha undergoes plastic surgery. Um, I actually talked about a little bit of this in what was it, 2 weeks ago when I did this Bordeaux character spotlight. She was
Oh,
recruited
nice.
by Checkmate and everything that she went under. That was actually another thing that I forget that we didn't talk about in Peacemaker, is that in this episode, like Bordeaux had originally started as a U.S. agent or U.S. federal agent, and then eventually decided that she was going to get out of it. So I'm curious if James Gunn will continue with that and eventually team her with Batman down the road once they start getting heavily into the universe overall.
We'll have to wait and see, but I have a feeling that probably.
Yeah, it seems like it. It is revealed that Maxwell Lord has assumed the position of the Black King within the Checkmate organization with the intent of manipulating the agency to kill all metahumans on Earth. While DC did not explain how or when Lord came to power, it had been implied that Checkmate may have been the victim of Superboy Prime, who warped the fabric of reality by punching the walls of his prison in another dimension. Due to Prime's action, the hierarchy of Checkmate was changed, and a changed Maxwell Lord was suddenly in charge of the organization. In order to hide his activities, which included hijacking and reprogramming to his own purposes the super spy satellite, Brother Eye, in order to hide his activities, which included the hacking of Brother Eye, Lord murdered former ally Ted Cord. He also mind controlled Superman, sending the hero after other former allies such as Batman and Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman proceeded to kill Lord in order to break his control over Superman's mind, which left Checkmate as a dismantled organization. In the New 52 reboot, Martian Manhunter reveals that he had spent months undercover undermining the remnants of Checkmate to convince the President of the United States to disband the organization. Within days, however, it is re
Reconstructed?
remade.
Okay.
No, reconstituted um, as a United Nations agency. Um, Later in the 52 series, Alan Scott reveals that Mr. Terrific uh, will led the agency as the White King. Um, Besides, like a lot of uh, minor characters, that's uh, that's kind of it
Pretty much it.
at the moment. Yeah, no, I know it's kind of like a jumbled mess in that kind of situation, but it like they have Checkmate in the comics kind of has their fingers in everything, kind of like how Argus is like an undercover. Um, they were involved in everything. Uh, they it I'm It's very different from what James Gunn is seemingly pointing his direction in right now. It's clear that his Checkmate is going to be very different from the comics. Um, I mean, actually, going different. Speaking of different from the comics, going towards Salvation Planet. Um, in that comic series, which is probably going to be very different, the government starts sending a bunch of, including Checkmate, start sending a bunch of metahumans into that planet, and as they are all getting over there, they start branching off into basically gangs, and a big gang war ends up coming out where it's Lex Luthor versus the Joker. Um, Obviously, I doubt that's going to be that direction because Lex Luthor is the one in charge of that right now. But time will tell. You never know.
I was gonna say
I
anything can happen between now and then.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Checkmate. Figured I'd touch on them a little bit, seeing that They are I don't know if you ever heard of them, but most people
I
only
didn't.
hear of Argus.
So I heard of them, like in the sense of like checkmate in general, but like not like as if it was like a team. Like I didn't know what it was, if that makes sense to you. Like I've heard of it, but knew no
Mm,
context of it, if that makes sense to you.
no, that's
But
fair.
yeah, but yeah, I was very. I'm impressed that they're expanding upon it, but the show as a whole, I was a little disappointed with this finale. I mean, we've already
I
talked about
kind
this.
of yeah.
Um, I think it could have been a lot better. Like weirdly enough, if we're greenlit a season 3, even if we never got a win, this would be a completely different conversation we'd be having. It would still be a
Absolutely.
disappointment, but it wouldn't be as bad. I feel.
I think this is like a double edged sword where now because of the finale, it's like it was only meant to set up a season three. And now that we don't know we'll ever get a season three, it's like, okay, so what was the entire point of this? Because it.
Like you literally were just wanting to build up your other projects and nothing, and not really end this. Like you didn't really seem to care about this project. It feels like because you're not giving it a proper end technically. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? That's kind of where more what I'm thinking of. But we'll have to wait and see. But for now, next week we're going to be talking about. Is it already the season finale? No, right?
there's no way. We're only on episode 6.
All right, good. So we only have 2 episodes left. It's not like there's a lot more. Because remember, it's only 8
Well,
episodes.
no, I know that, but I was like, there's no way that they're already ending it.
All right, good.
Um,
So we have another episode of Gen V, and then we have a character spotlight for me, and then I don't think Visions comes out this next week. It comes out the week after.
the 27th.
All right, so in 2 weeks.
There is a break. I remember that. No, maybe there isn't
No,
a
there is
break.
not.
Hold on a second. Is
It's
there?
one, two. No, there's no break. It literally, as soon as that's done, that's when Visions comes out.
Okay, there is 8 episodes. Sorry, when I was looking online for the episodes, there was only 7 episodes left listed, but there
Well,
is
yeah,
8 episodes.
because they're not showing. They don't want to give away anything for the 8th episode, which I get.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I mean, I'm looking forward to Gen V, the next episode. We're going to be ending with a character spotlight for me, and then talk about any trailers that come out because realistically, there were trailers that came out that I was kind of surprised about. So we might get
yeah.
more. Who knows?
We'll
But
see.
for
Maybe
now, if you made
tomorrow we're gonna get more from Comic Con.
also true. So if you made it this far into the video, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Scott and Mike signing out of the Black Heel Podcast. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.